So we were, I think, on a glide path to success when I think the chair of the full committee suggested that we reconcile our bill with RAP back. The reason that we chose not to incorporate the amendment in the nature of a substitute is threefold. This bill still does what we said it would do. This is about student safety in our schools. Right now, there is a gap between the requirements for background checks that our preschool teachers undergo versus our K-12 teachers. And if we were to wait for RAP back, two things would happen. Number one, we've spoken extensively. I know more about RAP back than I ever thought I would with the federal entities and other entities with an interest in RAP back. We don't expect that to come online until 2025 at best. There is some skepticism that it will be 2025. It's quite likely to be 2026. And to incorporate RAP back into this would be a massive unfunded mandate on our localities, because to have RAP back per teacher would be $1.25, I believe, per teacher per month. So you're looking at $15-ish per teacher per year, and in some of the smaller localities, that's significant money. So what this bill does, as I explained the other day, is threefold. Number one, it closes the loophole that exists for contract providers and virtual instructors, because right now what the law says is that there's no background check for them that the person who provides the contract provider shall certify. So it would be as if I certified that Delegate Green had no felonies, right? There is no definition in the code for what certified means. Secondly, it would remove the unfunded recheck mandate on localities. For example, if a teacher were to move from Newport News to Portsmouth, right now by law, Portsmouth would have to conduct a new background check on that teacher, even if there'd been one done in Newport News the year prior, right? So that's a double hit on the localities. This bill would solve that. And thirdly, it would bring K-12 background check standards online with those that we currently have for our pre-K, our child care providers, right? It strikes me as unfortunate, but obviously there's a lot in the code, that we actually have a more stringent process for child care providers than we do for providers of education in K through 12 ed. So that's what the three things this does. I do totally understand why we had to bump this against RAP back. It makes sense. I look forward to RAP back coming online, but that's something that probably 2026 we would need to look at with a budget amendment, because it would be a real hit to localities who are already cash strapped as it relates to paying for their K-12 needs of their students, which is constitutionally mandated in Virginia already. So that's where we are. Again, this is about student safety, and the need for student safety starts now, not in July of 2025 or 2026.
Thank you, Delegate Garrett. Do we have questions from members of the committee?
Madam Chair.
Chair Russell.
Yeah, Madam Chair, since we have heard this bill before, and our directive was, I need to hear clearly that there's a problem we're trying to solve, that the stakeholders would like to very clearly identify for us. I haven't heard, we've given it a week, I haven't heard it. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to stand up and come and tell us the problem that we're trying to solve that you're currently experiencing, then we'd love to hear it. Otherwise, with the new update that we've made to RAP back, we can potentially carry this bill over while we understand what that update's implications are.
Madam Chair, could I?
Delegate Cherry.
In speaking to the chairman's question, Mr. Chairman, this is what I did for 12 years. And I can tell you that the problems that he's identified are problems that are in the system. And we do have a disparity in what is done for childcare workers and what's done for K-12 education in terms of our teachers. And I'll tell you, the idea that I could call a school division that I was hiring a teacher from and to be able to use that background check without having to reaccomplish that and to pay for that would certainly be great benefits to different school divisions. I understand you have some questions, but I'll tell you, someone who did this every day, there are issues that I think he's addressing here, and I think it's a good bill.
So, Madam Chair.
Delegate Russell.
Yeah, Madam Chair. So, I understand, and why we gave it a whole week was to really see if there's some there. And no one's come to the committee and discussed about that. So, Madam Chair, I have a motion that we carry House Bill 485 under Rule 22 over to 2025, and give us some time, and if people would like to discuss it further in the upcoming year, then we go in that direction.
So we have a motion to carry. I would like to see if we, is there anyone in the audience who wanted to speak either in favor or opposed to this bill? Any other discussion from committee members? Do I have a second on the motion before us? It's been moved and properly seconded that we continue this bill to 2025. That is a voice vote. Would you like the last word, Delegate
If I
Garrett?
might, I don't want to
Yes.
interrupt. I genuinely hope that not a single Virginia student is victimized by virtue of someone who slipped through the cracks, by virtue of us holding our child care providers to a higher standard than we do our teachers in K-12. I genuinely hope that not one student is victimized by virtue of what I would argue is a political desire to defeat a member's bill. That is all.
Thank you. This is a voice vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, Delegate Garrett.
Thank you, Madam Chair.